Welcome to Mysterious Encounters. Before Egypt, before China, before the oldest names we know, there was Sumer. And in Sumer they wrote of beings who came from the sky. They called them the Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came. For decades this has been dismissed as mythology, as primitive religion, as the dreams of a desert people. But what if the Sumerians were not dreaming? What if they were recording? And what if our modern obsession with these beings is not curiosity, but memory? This is a case file on the Anunnaki, not as gods, not as aliens, but as a transmission that humanity has been trying to decode for 6,000 years. And the closer we look, the less comfortable the answer becomes. To understand the Anunnaki, we must first unlearn almost everything we think we know. The popular image giant humanoids with advanced technology, mining gold, creating humans as slaves comes almost entirely from one source, the writings of Zecharia Sitchin. Sitchin was a journalist, not an archaeologist. His translations of Sumerian texts have been overwhelmingly rejected by every credible Sumerologist alive. But Sitchin did not invent the Anunnaki. He reinterpreted them. The original texts, the Enuma Elish, the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Atra-Hasis, described the Anunnaki very differently. They were not astronauts. They were deities of the pantheon, children of the sky god Anu and the earth goddess Ki. Their name literally means princely offspring, or those of royal blood. They were not one unified group. They were a divine family, squabbling, creating, destroying, and ruling over the cosmos. The Anunnaki were judges of the dead. They were patrons of cities. They were forces of nature. Enlil, the god of wind and storm, could flood the earth. Enki, the god of wisdom and water, could save humanity from that flood. In the Atra-Hasis epic, the gods create humans to do their labor because they are tired of working themselves. This is the oldest known account of humanity's creation, and it is not a story of love. It is a story of convenience. So where did the alien narrative come from? And why has it become so powerful? Zecharia Sitchin published his first book, The 12th Planet, in 1976. His thesis was radical, elegant, and unverifiable. The Anunnaki were an advanced race from a hypothetical planet called Nibiru, which entered our solar system every 3,600 years. They came to Earth for gold, created humanity as a worker species, and left behind the seeds of all civilization. Sitchin built his case on specific interpretations of Sumerian words. He read Mu as spaceship. He read Shar as 3,600-year orbit. He saw rocket ships and cylinder seals and astronauts in temple reliefs. Every Sumerologist who examined his work found the same thing. The words did not mean what he said they meant. Mu meant heavenly or that which rises. Shar meant totality or king. The cylinder seals showed religious rituals, not launch sequences. And yet, Sitchin's books sold millions. They inspired countless documentaries, websites, and belief systems. Why? Because his narrative filled a void. The official story that civilization emerged slowly, through trial and error, with no outside intervention, felt incomplete. Sitchin offered a better story. Gods from the sky, a hidden planet, a secret history. It was irresistible, and it raised a deeper question. Why do we want this story to be true? The Anunnaki, whatever their historical reality, serve a psychological function. They are the ultimate expression of the Sky Father archetype, powerful beings who came from above, shaped our world, and left us with their legacy. Every culture has this story. The gods of Olympus, the Sky Father of the Abrahamic faiths, the ancestors who descended from the stars in Aboriginal Dreamtime. The modern ancient astronaut theory is simply the technological version of this ancient need. We no longer believe in gods who ride chariots across the sky, but we do believe in beings who travel in spaceships. The function is identical: to explain the inexplicable origins of consciousness, civilization, and the human self. Carl Jung called this the God archetype, an inborn tendency of the human psyche to project meaning onto the vast. the powerful, the other. The Anunnaki are a perfect vessel for this projection. They are ancient enough to feel sacred, ambiguous enough to accept any interpretation, and absent enough to never contradict us. We can make them whatever we need them to be. So what is the actual evidence? The honest answer: there is no evidence for extraterrestrial intervention in human history. Every artifact cited by ancient astronaut theorists has a conventional explanation. The Baghdad battery was likely a storage jar for scrolls. The Nazca lines are ceremonial pathways. The Piri Reis map shows known coastlines, not an ancient global survey. But absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. The real mystery is not whether the Anunnaki existed. It is how Sumer itself existed. In a few thousand years, without any clear precedent, humanity invented writing, law, mathematics, astronomy, and monumental architecture. The Sumerians appeared seemingly from nowhere with a fully formed civilization. This is the kernel of truth that keeps the Anunnaki hypothesis alive. Something happened in Mesopotamia. Something accelerated human development. We do not know what. The Anunnaki are not the answer. They are the name we give to the question. Today, the Anunnaki are no longer Sumerian. They are global. They appear in conspiracy theories, in New Age spirituality, in heavy metal album art, in the fevered dreams of the internet. They have been merged with everything. The Nephilim of the Bible, the reptilians of David Icke, the gray aliens of abduction lore. They are myth in progress, constantly evolving, constantly absorbing new meanings. This is what myths do. They live, they change. They speak to each generation in its own language. For the Sumerians, the Anunnaki were judges and patrons. For Sitchin's readers, they were astronauts and genetic engineers. For the next generation, they will be something else entirely. The gods never die, they just change costumes. The Anunnaki are not in the sky. They are not on a hidden planet. They are not coming back. They have always been here in the clay, in the texts, in the human need to look up and ask, who made us? Who watches us? Who will judge us? We are the Anunnaki now. We are the ones who create gods. We are the ones who send messages to the future. We are the ones who will be myth to those who come after. The question is not whether they existed. The question is, what will we leave for the next civilization to decode?